A movie called The Debt that's not about the financial peril of the US government. That's cool. The Debt. Now, going into this movie, I didn't know anything about it. It could have been about anything. But The Debt starts out with Helen Mirren, Tom Wilkinson, and that guy who played Julius Caesar in Rome. It takes place in 1997. You can tell they all know each other, and some of them have like friction between each other. But they're all these war heroes, and someone wrote a book, and it's all great. Then the movie flashes back 30 years prior, where they're looking for this Nazi war criminal, and it kind of shows how they became these war heroes. So 30 years prior, Helen Mirren's played by this she's a hot chick. I don't know who she is, but she's hot. I've seen her somewhere before. Gaius Julius Caesar from Rome's played by Sam Worthington, and Tom Wilkinson's played by some dude. But I suck with faces. That's just me. And you're watching the movie and you're like, all right, it's interesting enough. It's kind of realistic special ops kind of stuff. I like that. Because in realistic special ops like this, things don't always go according to plan. And when it turns to shit, you're now in a shit situation, and they were in a shit situation. Like, you know, a movie where people try to pull off a job and now they're stuck with this prisoner and they don't know what to do with him? That's kind of this movie. And there's this really cool twist in the movie. I can't really tell you about it because it will ruin the movie. But when you see it, you're like, oh, holy shit, look at that. And then you start thinking to yourself, what would you do in this kind of situation? It has this really cool moral dilemma on it, and I like that. You know, moral relativisms is kind of what keeps the world spinning. I wish the world spun on puppies, rainbows, Christmas, and, you know, candy and all that good stuff, but in the end, it is moral relativism. Now, I like the characters in this movie. Helen Mirren, I liked her character. It's Helen Mirren. She could play anything, and I'll be like, she's a great actress, and I liked her character. She did a good job as the Green River Killer. Sam Worthington's character is kind of funny for me, because he plays this really stoic, emotionless agent, which is pretty much Sam Worthington in 9/10 of his movies. All 4 of them, which the math makes sense somehow, somewhere. But I can't tell you much about this movie without ruining it, but in the end, I like the characters, I like the acting, I like the premise, I like the moral dilemma in the movie that makes you go, dude, what would I do in that situation? I will say it's a good time, no alcohol required. The movie kind of felt like Munich, but you know, 1/10 the length. Because Munich felt long. This movie's a 2-hour drama, and as a 2-hour drama, I would watch it again for the sake of being like, hey, friend of mine, watch this movie, I'll watch it with you. I would be down for watching this movie again, for sure. But I don't know that I'd be sitting on my couch alone being like, you know what, I'm gonna grab myself a cold one, I'm gonna watch The Debt alone. But it's worth watching. I'll walk out of the movie going, you know what? It was well done. It was good. So even though it's still summer, it's September now, so I feel like this is a fall movie, and it looks like the fall movies are gonna surprise me. For the most part. And the podcast I did with the Schmoes from Schmoes Know, in which they interview me, is up now. I put the links below. Go check them out. It's a podcast in which they interview me about me, you know, like how I got into YouTube, all that good stuff. It's like a Jeremy behind the scenes kind of thing. So it's good to listen to if you're like cleaning your house, driving, staring at your computer, doing nothing really. In any case, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.